Hello. Good morning, all of you. Am I audible to you? So, in the last two lectures, we have going to learn the how to convert the analog signal into the digital one for the digital communication. And for that purpose, we have gone through the study of sampling theorem, as well as we have learned the how to generate the PWM signal and PPM signal. And yesterday, we have also learned the quantization, how to perform the quantization. So today we would be goes to the learn the third aspect, that is encoding pulse code modulation. So before that, I would be just show you this video for the sampling theorem. This is a very good video to learn this. So in this way, we have seen that one of the very good animated video that would be uh, give you some idea about the sampling theorem. Okay, now we have to be continue with the topic pulse code modulation (PCM). So we have learned the sampling as well as the quantization. Now the next one is the encoding. So for that purpose, we here would be learn how to perform this encoding with the help of this PCM technique. So pulse code modulation is a name. It is given to a class of baseband signals obtained from the quantized PAM pulse amplitude modulated signals by encoding each quantized sample into a digital word. So yesterday we have learned the quantization, where we have quantized each sample signal and take a approximation of the original signal. Here we would be learn how to encode these quantized samples into the digital word. So a signal which is to be quantized prior to the transmission is usually required to sampled, and the quantization is used to reduce the effect of noise, and the sampling allows us to perform the time division multiplexing for a number of messages if we want to do this. So in this case, the combined operation of the sampling and quantizing generate a quantized pulse amplitude modulated waveform, and it is a train of pulses whose amplitude are restricted to a number of discrete magnitudes, because we have assigned the discrete values during the quantizations. This is the quantization levels. So we may represent each quantized level by a code number and transmit the code number rather than the sample value itself. So before transmission, we have to perform the encoding, and we would be assigned a code number to each quantized level before transmission. The code number is converted before transmission into its representation in the binary arithmetic, and here we would be going to use base 2 arithmetic. So the digits of the binary representation of the code number are transmitted as pulses. They have only two levels, binary 0 and binary 1. So that could be represented in terms of pulses, that is the voltage levels. For the binary 1, you can represent as a maximum voltage, positive voltage, and for binary 0, you can either a ground signal or a negative voltage. So hence, the system of transmission is called binary pulse code modulation. So the binary system, what we are going to use here, so this binary system actually uses only two digits, as I told you, 0 and 1. So here we would be take an arbitrary number n that is represented by the sequence k2, kx, k0. It would continue up to the kn. So it is shown as a decreasing order, kn dash up to this, decreasing up to the k0, in which k's are determined from the equation, that is n is equal to, in the decreasing order we have to start it here, k to the kn to the 2 raised to the power n minus 1 actually. So here you have to be see that it would be decreases. You can consider the maximum value as a kn minus 1 to the power n minus up to decrease up to the k2 to raised to the power 2, k1 to raised to the power 1, up to k0 to raised to the power 0, like this. So where each k having the value 0 and 1. Okay. So to represent, if you would be use this method, so to represent the 4 decimal number, means 0 to 3, what we have to be required? We need only two binary digits, k1 and k0. We know that how to represent 0, 1, 2, 3 in binary, like 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So we have to be only required two binary digits. So here we would use only k0 and k1. But if you would be increase the decimal numbers, means 8 decimal numbers. Initially we have done it for the 4 decimal numbers. Now we have to go for the 8 decimal number from 0 to 7. So we would be required 3 binary places. That means k0, k1, and k2. Okay. So we can represent up to the 8 decimal places. In the similar fashion, if we would be going to represent the m numbers, that is starting from the 0 to m minus 1, in that case we have to be use n binary digit sequence, that is kn minus 1 and decrease up to the k0. It is required. Means here m is related with respect to the n is m is equal to 2 raised to the power n. Okay. So by using this methodology, we can further encode the quantized messages, and we would be assigned each quantization level a code word. See, we would be there is a table I have shown you for the binary representation of the decimal number. All of you are aware of this. So we have to be see that here we are taking for this example 16 decimal numbers, and for that we have to be required, as per the formula 2 raised to power n, we have to require 4 binary digits k3, k2, k1 and k0. And here in this table I have represented the binary equivalent of the decimal numbers, that is start from 0 and maximum up to the 15. So for this given example we would be perform the encoding in the PCM. So here you can see in this particular diagram, everyone please take the screenshot of this diagram. Here in this diagram a master signal is shown that has been be actually sampled. If you have to be seen this particular diagram, this master signals MT, that is analog in nature, it has been be regularly sampled at the regular intervals. Even in this particular diagram, if you have to be see in the y-axis, we have also shown the quantization levels. Okay, and for each sample the quantized value is given and its binary representations are also indicated. So you can see here in the x-axis there is a time, this is a t, that is has been shown. In the y-axis we have shown the or represent the amplitude of the signal in volts. Okay, so if you have to be come to the reference axis, that is a 0, the waveform has been be shown on both the axis, means in the positive axis, that is start from 1, 2 and up to the 4 volt, and it would be goes to the negative side also, minus up to minus 4 volts. You can consider this is minus 4 as a VL and 4 volt as a plus 4 volt as a VH, that we have learned yesterday to for the quantization. Okay, so in this case if we have to be see, first of all we have performed the sampling of this particular master signal, and we have sampled it at the regular intervals. You can see here there are some samples has been shown at the regular intervals. Okay, so in this way first of all we have sampled it, and whatever the corresponding values, means amplitude of this particular sample value has been mentioned. For example, this first sample has been little bit more than 1 and less than 1.5, so it would be considered 1.3 volt. Like this 3.6, 2.3, 0.7. Now it would be below the x-axis, so it would be minus negative sign, minus 0.7, minus 2.4, minus 3.4, like. So it is, this value has been taken as per this linear scale has been shown here for the sampled value in terms of volts. This is the voltage levels. Now we have to be find out the quantization level near to this particular sampled value. So this minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, like this, all are the voltage representation, and in between of that you have to be see that we have shown the quantization level, like in the yesterday's lecture we have shown in the during the lecture of quantization, in between of these two delta we have been shown the one quantization levels also. So you have to be see here that would be started from lowest value minus 3.5 and goes up to the plus 3.5 maximum. Okay, so in between of each and every level of voltage difference, there is a, in mid of that we have taken a quantization level. As per the yesterday's discussion, that step size should be maximum S. Okay, and in between of this S, that is a S by 2. That's why it would be taken in every S by 2. So here quantization levels are taken from minus 3.5 and goes up to plus 3.5 of the step size of the 1. Okay, so here the nearest quantization level for 1.3 is what? We have to be identify this. This is 1.5. So you have to be mentioned here 1.5. Similarly, 3.6, 3.5, 2.3, 2.5, like that. We have to be identify their nearest quantization level to the sampled value. It would be then easier for us to encode this message. Now, for encoding, you have to be see here, code numbers are mentioned here, that is from 0 to 7. Okay, so 0 is given to the minus 3.5, and like similarly 4 is given to the plus 0.5, and 7 is given to plus 3.5. So every quantization level having some code numbers. So in the similar way, we have to be assign the code numbers whatever the quantization level we have got. So 1.5, that would be, if you have to be compared from the y-axis, it would be having 5. Code number is a 5. 3.5 would be having, you have to be see 7. So you have to be mention 7 here. 2.5 is near is aligned to the 6. So you have to be assigned 6. Like that, minus 2.5 is aligned to the 1. We have to be assigned 1. Minus 3.5 is aligned to the 0. We have to be given the 0. Now once we have assigned the code numbers, we can easily convert it into the, these are the decimal numbers, we have to be converted into the binary equivalent, and you have to be see that each and every number has been be represented, a binary representation has there, like 5 is 1017, 7 is 111, 6 is 110, 3 is 011, 1 is 001, and 0 is 00. In this way, we have first sampled the signal, then quantized the signal, and then encode the signal. So all three process that is required to convert the analog data or analog signal into the digital data or digital signal, that we have performed here through this particular diagram. Okay, so I hope all of you have taken the screenshot or you have drawn this diagram till the discussion. Now move further. So in this way, we have seen that the essential feature of this particular PCM has shown here in this diagram, and we have assumed here the analog message signal that is limited, and it is mentioned the limitations of this particular voltage levels is minus 4 volt to the plus 4 volt, and we have set up a step size between the quantization levels of 1 volt each, that is a fixed step size, that is S is here 1 volt, and we have shown the 8 quantization level, that is minus 3.5 to plus 3.5 volt, that we have already seen, and also we have assigned the code numbers to each and every quantization level starting from 0 to 7, corresponding to the minus 3.5 volt to the plus 3.5 volt. Okay, so and each code numbers are also represented in the binary equivalent that we have already seen in the diagram. So in this particular diagram, in corresponding to the each sample, which where we have specified the sample value and the nearest quantization level, and then the code number, and finally the binary representation. Okay, so if we were transmitting the analog signal, we would have to be transmit the sample values like 1.3, 3.6, 2.3, in between whatever the value we have got. If we are transmitting the quantized value, so we have to be round up this sampled value into the nearest quantized level 1.5, 3.5 like this, and finally the when we have to be converted into the binary equivalent, this binary signal would be now transmitted. So if you have to be going to, these numbers would be not transmitted through the transmitting media like wired media or wireless media. You have to be actually transmit the voltage signals. So here in this particular diagram, figure 4.12, I have to be try to show you the electrical representation of the binary symbols. So you can see here in the figure 4.12a, this is the pulse representation of the binary numbers used to code the samples. Okay, and in the figure B, it is represented by the voltage level rather than the pulses. Okay, so first of all, we have to be identify the binary numbers with the help of pulses, and then we have to be represent it with the help of the voltage levels that actually transmitted in the wired medium. Okay. So you have to be seen the diagram. There is a shown as a pulse time slot. This is the width of this pulse time slot of each and every pulse that has been shown according to the binary numbers. So 1 is represented by a pulse and 0 is absence of the pulse. It is a binary 1 is shown by the presence of the pulse and binary 0 is the absence of the pulse. Similarly, the whole word is what? This is 101, 111. It is a one word. Okay, it could be consist of the 3-bit binary numbers, but it is a you can represent it as a word. So there is also shown the word time slot. It is mentioned in the diagram. Okay, and that is also given some guard time. Okay, so this is the guard time is given so that it would be prevent from the aliasing and other kind of the issues, errors during the encoding. So in this case, width of the pulse is fixed here, that is shown, as well as the absence of the pulse, and the guard time is also shown here. So each and every numbers has been shown 101 like this, and 111 is 3 pulses, 1102 2 pulses, and then absence of the pulse. Then 1001 pulse, and rest of the 2 places are absence of the pulse. Then 011 and 00 is completely absence of the pulse. Now in the second one, we have converted into the voltage level. You can see here it is varied from the minus V volt to plus V volt. Okay, so both the polarity has been taken here, that we have already considered in the previous diagram as well. Minus 3.5 volt to plus minus 4 volt to plus 4 volt. Similarly here, so it is, so by this, in this case we are not to show the guard time because this is the voltage level, there is a continuous signal is there. So this is the binary 1 representation, then 0, then 1, then 111 like this, 110, then 100, 0, sorry, 011, 001, and 3 times 0 like this. It has been shown as per the width of this pulse. So actually in practical cases we have to be transmit the voltage signals through the media. Okay, and only for the representation purpose we have to be learn the binary number equivalent representation for the encoding. So we may represent this binary number by this electrical pulses that we have shown in learning this particular diagram as well, whenever we have to be transmit the signal in terms of code representation through the communication channel. Okay, so the pulse pattern that we have seen in the 4.2a 12a is a binary PCM waveform, and that would be transmitted and conveyed to the receiver. The sequence of the quantized sample of the message signal MT that we have already learned in the previous diagram 4.11. So each 3-digit binary number that is specified a quantized sample value is called a word here, and it is not a fixed value that you can increase the number of bits in the word as well, depending upon the what kind of the encoding you are going to do. And the spaces between the words allow for the multiplexing of the other messages. And at the receiver end, in order to reconstruct the quantized signal, all that is required is that a determination to be made, and within this each pulse time slot, whether the pulse is absent or present. Okay. So that's why we have put up a place for the guard time as well. So there is an advantage in making the pulse width as wide as possible, because since the pulse energy is thereby increased, and it becomes easier to recognize the pulse against the background noise. If you would be increase the width of the pulses or voltage signals, so it would be also increase the energy level of the pulses, and that would be easier for us to recognize at the receiving end which is noise and which is the actual signal. Okay, so now we have to become, this is the discussion we have done regarding how to convert the analog signal into the digital one with the help of this pulse code modulation technique. Now we have to come to the actual PCM communication system in the hardware section. Before that, we have learned the phenomena. Now we have to be going to learn actual hardware. So in this particular block diagram, you can see here, this is the transmitter and receiver has been shown in one diagram. So first of all, analog signal is there, then that is passed to the sampler using the sampling theorem, then quantization using the quantizer, and then the encoder for encoding the message. So this is the section you can there encircled. It is called as a ADC, analog to digital converter. Also you can refer it as a ADC. Okay, and here at the output we have to show the quantized pulse amplitude modulated signal, and finally we have to obtain the digital encoded signal here that is passed through the communication channel, and at the receiver end we have to do the reverse process. Okay, so first of all we have to be re-quantized and then decode the message, and finally we use the low pass filters and we have to obtain the actual transmitted signal. Okay, but it may be possible that there is some difference between the actual transmitter and this signal. There is a little bit error could be there, that's why it is shown as a M-T. Okay, now we have to be everyone please note down this particular diagram. So we would be explaining it in a detail each and every block. Okay, I hope you have taken the diagram, drawn the diagram. Now we have to see the explanation of this in detail. So first of all, we have to learn about the encoder section, then the decoder section, in the transmitter and the receiver end. So analog sample signal, MT is sampled first, and these samples are subjected to the operation of the quantization. Then it would be passed to a quantizer, and whatever the output of the quantizer, it is a quantized sample that is applied to the encoder, and then the encoder responds to each such sample by the generation of unique and identifiable binary pulses that we have learned in today's lecture. So these codes are unique and it should be identifiable. Patterns are there. So the combination of the encoder and quantizer is also called as the ADC that I have told you. Okay, so in commercially A to D converter, analog to digital converter, there is normally no sharp distinction between that portion of electronic circuitry used to do the quantization as well as to accomplish the encoding. Whatever the commercial ADC would be available for this purpose of quantization and the encoding, there is no distinction between this electronic circuitry. It is embedded in one circuitry. So in this case, you can say that A to D converter that accepts the analog signals and replace it into the succession of the code symbols. Each symbol consists of the train of pulses, in which each pulse may be interpreted as representation of a digit in arithmetic system. That we have also seen in the diagram as well, how to represent the binary numbers into the terms of pulses and then the voltage signals. And thus signals transmitted over the communication channel in the PCM system, and that is referred to as a digitally encoded signals. In this way, we have converted analog into the digital signal. Now come to the receiver end. So at the receiving end, whatever the digitally encoded signal has been arrived to the receiver, or the first operation to be performed is separation of signal from the noise which has been added during the transmission along the channel. And for the separation of the signal from the noise, that's why here the first block is quantizer or requantizer. We have not firstly used the decoder. We have to first use the requantizer because we have to firstly separate out the noises. And the purpose of the quantization is also same, to distinguish between the actual signal and the noise signal added during the transmission. That's why we have to perform the quantization. Okay. So the separation of the signal from the noise